So we know that if two triangles are similar, then their corresponding sides, if we take their ratios, they turn out to be the same. But what about the ratios of their areas? So we know that sides would be having the unit say, and the area would be having the unit square. So it'll just help you remember that the ratios of the areas of any two similar triangles is same as the ratios of the sides raised to the power 2. So if I give you triangle ABC and triangle PQR are similar, then obviously the corresponding sides would be in the same ratio, which means AB upon PQ will be equal to BC upon QR, and this will further be equal to CA upon RP. So you just take squares of these ratios, and that will be the ratio of the two areas, triangle ABC and PQR. For this we have an entire theorem, theorem 6.6. So the ratio of the areas of two similar triangles is equal to the square of the ratio of their corresponding sides. So here we are considering triangle ABC and triangle PQR. Let's say that they are already similar. Similar means, I'll write the same thing, it means that the corresponding sides are in the same ratio. So that means AB upon PQ is equal to BC upon QR. I'm just looking at the corresponding sides, then AC upon PR or CA upon RP, whichever way you want to write it. Then here we are going to prove that the area of triangle ABC upon area of triangle PQR is equal to square of each of these ratios, right? So we need to find out the area of these triangles first of all in order to compare their ratios and with their sides. So let's find out the area of triangle ABC. We know that area of any triangle, what is its formula? Half base into height. So for triangle ABC it will be half BC into AM. So this is the base and this is the height. Similarly, you can find out area of triangle PQR. It will be half of base, which is QR, and height, which is PN. Okay, so basically initially we had triangles ABC and PQR. To be able to find the areas, we require the heights, for which we need to draw perpendiculars. So we drop a perpendicular from A over here, so it meets BC at M, and from P, which meets QR at N. Alright, now what you need to do is just take the ratio of the two areas. So I'll do area triangle ABC upon area triangle PQR. So in the process, this 1 by 2 gets cancelled, and I get BC into AM in the numerator upon QR into PN, and you can make this equation number 1. Then we will consider triangle ABM, which is this particular triangle, and we will consider triangle PQN. Okay, so here we know that angle B and angle Q would be equal, because I just said that triangle ABC is similar to triangle PQR, which means that these corresponding angles have to be equal. Then we know that this angle AMB and angle PNQ would be equal. Basically angle M and angle N would be equal 90 degree, because AM and PN are altitudes. They are perpendiculars. So if I know any two angles of a triangle are equal, I can make use of AA similarity criterion, and by that I can say that triangle ABM is similar to triangle PQN. Okay, once I say this, I can say that the ratios of the corresponding sides in these two triangles ABM and PQN would be equal. So using this similarity concept, I can say that your AM upon PN, okay, AM upon PN, I'm looking at the corresponding sides, and this is equal to AB upon PQ. Okay, AB upon PQ. So let me make this equation number 2. This was first, this is second. Then it has been given to us, or we took this at triangle ABC and triangle PQR are similar. So we stated AB upon PQ is equal to BC upon QR is equal to CA upon RP. So we can call this equation number 3. You can write it over here once again. Then if you make use of equation 1 and equation 3, you can say that area of triangle ABC upon area of triangle PQR is equal to AB upon PQ. because this BC upon QR is same as AB upon PQ from equation number 3, and you can multiply this with AM upon PN. Okay, then furthermore, this using this equation number 2, we know that AM upon PN is AB upon PQ, so I can say AB upon PQ into AB upon PQ, so this becomes AB upon PQ whole square. Okay, then if you make use of equation number 3, okay, using equation number 3, we can then say that area triangle ABC upon area of triangle PQR, we've already proven this to be equal to AB upon PQ whole square. Now we can prove it to be equal to the squares of the ratios of other sides as well in a similar manner. So we can say this, and this is CA upon RP whole square. So we just saw that if two triangles are similar, the ratio of their areas would be same as the ratios of the corresponding sides raised to the power 2. Okay, so this is the expression. Now we have example 9. So you have been given a figure. There's a triangle ABC. There is a line segment XY which is parallel to the side AC of this triangle, and it divides the triangle into two parts of equal areas. That means these two triangles XBY, and basically the triangle is divided into two parts of equal areas, means that this area is equal to this particular area. Okay, and you have to find out the ratio AX upon AB. So it has already been given to us that XY is parallel to AC. So we know that angle BXY, this particular angle, will be equal to angle A, because for parallel lines the corresponding angles are equal. Okay, so if these two angles are equal, I can also say that these two are also equal in a similar manner. That means angle B by X is equal to angle C, again because they are corresponding angles. So if two angles for two triangles are equal, I can say that the two triangles are similar, which means that triangle ABC is similar to triangle XBY, and I have used the AA similarity criterion for this. So if two triangles are similar, we know the ratios of the areas, that is area of triangle ABC upon area of triangle XBY. This will be equal to AB upon XB whole square, because we are using that theorem 6.6 which we just discussed. Okay, and you do one thing, you take this equation and mark this equation number 1. Then it has been given to us that area of triangle ABC is equal to twice area of triangle XBY, because we said that this line XY is dividing the area of this entire triangle into two equal parts, right? So I can say ABC is double of this area of triangle XBY. Okay, so basically it is to say that area of triangle ABC upon area of triangle XBY, what is this ratio equal to? So basically if I shift this to the LHS, it becomes 2 by 1 on the RHS. You can make this equation number 2 now. So if you use 1 and 2 together, the LHS is same. So you can compare the RHS. So AB upon XB whole square turns out to be equal to 2 upon 1. Then if you take square root on both sides, because we want to find AB upon XB, and through that we'll find out AX upon AB. So this becomes equal to root 2 square root of 2. Then you take reciprocal on both sides, so you'll get XB upon AB is equal to root 2, 1 by root 2. Okay, then you can multiply both sides of this particular equation by minus 1. So what you will get is minus XB upon minus AB is equal to minus 1 by root 2. In fact, you can just have minus 1s. Then you can add 1 on both sides, so it becomes 1 minus XB upon AB is equal to 1 minus 1 upon root 2. You take the LCM on both sides, so here you will get AB minus XB upon AB is equal to root 2 minus 1 upon root 2. Now AB, this entire side, minus XB, what are we left with? AX. So it means that AX upon AB is equal to root 2 minus 1 upon root 2. Now we avoid having an irrational number in the denominator, so we rationalize it by multiplying numerator and denominator by root 2. So root 2 into root 2 will become 2, and this minus 1 into root 2 will become minus root 2. Root 2 into root 2 is 2. That means that AX upon AB is equal to 2 minus root 2 upon 2. Then we have the Pythagoras theorem and properties of right angle triangles. So we know that Pythagoras theorem anyways applies to only right angle triangles. I told you this earlier also, that what's so special about such triangles is that one angle in them is equal to 90 degree and the sides are called by special names. Like this side AB will be called the perpendicular, this side BC will be called the base, and your the longest side of this triangle, which is opposite to this right angle, that is AC in this case, is called the hypotenuse. So by Pythagoras theorem, p square plus b square equal to h square, which is perpendicular square, plus base square equal to hypotenuse square. So here we see that AC is the hypotenuse, so I can say AB square plus BC square is equal to AC square. Now there are different ways of proving this Pythagoras theorem. One such way is by making use of the concept of similarity. We'll just see how. So we have theorem 6.7. So if I'm having any right angle triangle ABC, let's say this angle B is 90 degree over here, and I drop a perpendicular from the vertex of this right triangle, which is from B, if I drop a perpendicular to the hypotenuse, which is AC, and let's say it meets it at point D, then the triangles on both sides of perpendicular, that is triangle ADB and triangle BDC, they would be similar to one another and also to the whole triangle in totality. Okay, so I'm just saying that if I give you a right angle triangle like this, okay, and if I drop a perpendicular from here, then this triangle, and this complete triangle, all the three triangles would be similar to one another. This is a very important theorem, we'll make use of it. Then we have theorem 6.8, that in a right triangle, the square of the hypotenuse is equal to the sum of the squares of the other two sides, which is basically to say a Pythagoras theorem only. So basically what we have to prove over here is that your AB square plus BC square is equal to AC square, because angle B is equal to 90 degree. So what is the hypotenuse? AC square, and the other two sides would be AB and BC square. So AC square is equal to AB square plus BC square. So what you need to do is you draw a perpendicular from B on this side AC. So basically you're drawing BD perpendicular to AC. Now we know that triangle ADB will be similar to triangle ABC. We just discussed this in the previous theorem 6.7, that if in a right angle triangle I am dropping a perpendicular from this right angle vertex to the hypotenuse, I get three triangles and all three are similar to one another. So triangle ADB, this triangle, is similar to the complete triangle ABC. So if they are similar, I can say that the ratios of the corresponding sides would be equal. So I can say that AD upon AB is equal to AB upon AC. You can write here corresponding sides of similar triangles. What are the two similar triangles over here? ADB and ABC. Then what you can do is you can just do a simple cross multiplication. So you can say AB square is equal to AD into AC. Mark this equation number 1. Furthermore, we can say that triangle BDC is also similar to triangle ABC. Again, using theorem 6.7, we can say that the three triangles are similar to one another. So this triangle is similar to the complete triangle ABC. Again, we can see that in this case, the corresponding sides would be in the same ratio. This implies that CD upon BC is equal to BC upon AC. In a similar manner, you perform cross multiplication and you get BC square is equal to your CD into AC, and make this equation number 2. Okay, so you've got these two equations and you add the two equations now. So 1 plus 2. So it will become AB square plus BC square. AB square plus BC square. That will be AD into AC. Now we are adding the right hand sides, plus CD into AC. Okay, so here you can take AC common. You will get AD plus CD. And what is this AD plus CD? It is nothing but the side AC only. So this becomes AC square. So this is what we had to prove, and we've proven this, that AB square plus BC square is equal to AC square. Okay, so using similarity, and theorem 6.7 came in very handy for this. We could have easily proven Pythagoras theorem by this method. Then we have another theorem 6.9, that in a triangle, if square of one side is equal to the sum of the squares of the other two sides, then the angle opposite the first side is a right angle. So basically this is your converse of Pythagoras theorem only. So in Pythagoras theorem, we see that if one angle is 90 degree, then perpendicular square plus base square is hypotenuse square. So here they are saying that what if I already tell you that h square is equal to p square plus b square, then the angle opposite to this hypotenuse is equal to 90 degree. Okay, So to understand this, let's have a triangle ABC. Okay, and what you will do here is you need to construct this triangle PQR. So this is given to you, and this triangle you have to construct by yourself in order to prove this theorem 6.9. So to construct this, you have this angle Q equal to 90 degree. You know how to make a right angle, right, 90 degree using a compass, or if not, you can make use of a protractor as well. Then you have to construct it in such a way that the length of PQ is same as AB and the length of RQ is same as CB. Okay, so in triangle PQR, I can use Pythagoras theorem because angle Q is 90 degree. So I can say that here PR square is equal to PQ square plus QR square because I am making use of Pythagoras theorem. Now further I can say this PR square is equal to AB square plus BC square because while constructing this triangle PQR, we took PQ as AB and we took your QR as BC. Okay, but it has already been given to us that the square of one side is equal to sum of squares of the other two sides. That means AC square is equal to BC square plus AB square is already given to us. Okay, so the RHS becomes the same in this case. So this means that your PR square is equal to AC square, which means your AC is equal to PR, right? So now what you can do is you can have triangle ABC and triangle PQR. Alright, now here we know that this side AC and PR are equal, and while constructing this we took PQ equal to AB and QR equal to BC. So using SSS axiom we can say triangle ABC is congruent to triangle PQR, and if the two triangles are congruent we can make use of CPCT, which is corresponding parts of congruent triangles which turn out to be equal, which means angle R is angle B, actually we are considering here, this angle B is equal to angle Q. Okay, this B and Q, these two angles are equal. We took angle Q has 90 degree, which means that angle B is also equal to 90 degree. So we have proven here that if AC square is equal to AB square plus BC square, then this angle B has to be equal to 90 degree, and hence this is just the converse of Pythagoras theorem. Then we have example 10 over here. So you've been given a triangle ABC and angle ACB is 90 degree. So from this right angle vertex, you dropped a perpendicular on the side AB, which meets it at point D. So CD is perpendicular to AB, and you have to prove that BC square upon AC square is equal to BD upon AD. So using theorem 6.7, if you are dropping a perpendicular from right angle vertex to the hypotenuse, then we can say that the three triangles which we get in the process are similar. So we can say triangle ACD, which is this triangle, is similar to the original triangle ABC. Okay, if the two triangles are similar, the corresponding sides would be in the same ratio, which means that AC upon AB is equal to AD upon AC. What is the reason? Corresponding sides of which triangles? Similar triangles. So if I just do a little cross multiplication, I'll get AC square is equal to AB into AD, and that we call as equation number 1. Okay, then also using theorem 6.7, so we use it once again. I can also say that triangle BCD, this triangle, this is also similar to the original triangle BAC. I can call this triangle BAC as well. And why I've changed the order is because I want corresponding angles only to be equal. As I told you earlier also, that here the order matters when you're writing similarity symbolically. So the corresponding sides would be equal, which means that BC upon BA is equal to BD upon BC. Here in brackets you can give that reason, corresponding sides of similar triangles. Then you perform a cross multiplication, so you will get BC square is equal to BA into BD. Make this equation number 2, and then make use of equations 1 and 2. Okay, basically you want to divide them, so you will do BC square upon AC square. Why do I want to divide them? Because this is what I want to prove, right? Now BC square is what? BA into BD, and this is what? AB into AD. So BA, AB same, this gets cancelled, so we get BC square upon AC square is equal to BD upon AD, hence proved. So this is what we had to prove, and we've proven this. Then we move on to example 11. So again an application based question. So a ladder is placed against a wall. Let's say that the ladder is AB. Okay, it's placed against a wall such that its foot, which is B, so B is the foot of this ladder, so it's in a slanting fashion, and your AC is the wall. Okay, AC is the wall, so its foot is at a distance of 2.5 meters, which means BC is 2.5 meters from the wall. Its top is reaching a window, so at A we are having a window. It is 6 meters above the ground, so this AC becomes 6 meters. You have to find the length of this ladder, which means you have to find this length AB. That is questionable. So we can make use of Pythagoras theorem, because so we can say angle C is equal to 90 degree because wall is obviously perpendicular to the ground. And then in triangle ABC we can use the Pythagoras theorem, which is hypotenuse square is equal to perpendicular square plus base square, which means AB square is equal to AC square plus BC square. Now what is AC? It is 6, so 6 square plus BC is 2.5 square, and when you solve this here you will get 42.25. So you have to take the square root to get AB value. This is AB square, so AB will become equal to 6.5 meters. Okay, so the length of the ladder is 6.5 meter. This is your answer. Then we have example 12. So here you have been given a triangle ABC where AD is perpendicular to BC. Alright, you have to prove that AB square plus CD square is equal to BD square plus AC square. So you make use of this triangle ADC. Here this angle D is anyways 90 degree. So you can use Pythagoras theorem over here. Identify the hypotenuse now, which is opposite to the right angle, so it has to be AC. So I can say AC square is equal to what? What is the base and the perpendicular in this case? You will tell me. AD is the perpendicular. Actually, you can interchange it also. So we have AD square plus CD square is equal to AC square. So you can make this equation number 1. Then you have triangle ADB. Obviously, this angle is also 90 degree, right? Linear pair. So in triangle ADB, again make use of Pythagoras theorem. So you can say AB square is equal to AD square plus BD square. This is equation number 2. Give the reason that you are using Pythagoras theorem over here. Then you do second equation minus first equation. So what are you doing over here? You are doing AB square minus AC square on the LHS, on the RHS you are doing AD square plus BD square minus AD square from here and minus CD square. So AD square minus AD square gets cancelled. So we get AB square minus AC square is equal to BD square minus CD square. If you shift the CD square over here, AD square over here, minus becomes plus when you shift it on the other side of equal to. So we get AB square plus CD square is equal to BD square plus AC square, and this is what we had to prove, hence proved. Then we have example number 13. So here we have triangle ABC, which is right angled at A, which means angle A is equal to 90 degree. And here we have BL and CM as medians, which means AL and AC, LC would be equal, and AM and BM would be equal because M is the midpoint of side AB and L is the midpoint of side AC. You can say over here that if BL is median, then L is midpoint of AC. And if it is midpoint of AC, we can say AL and LC are equal. Similarly, if CM is median, it means M is midpoint of which side? Of AB, and in that case we can say AM and MD are equal. So that knowledge would be required, and then this is what you have to prove. So what you need to do is you take triangle ABC in totality first. So you Pythagoras theorem, you can say this hypotenuse BC square is equal to AB square plus AC square, and if you make use of the Pythagoras theorem in triangle ABL, okay, even this is having a 90 degree angle at angle A. So here we can say that BL square is the hypotenuse square. So BL square is equal to AL square plus AB square. All this we are doing using Pythagoras theorem. Alright. So here if you use Pythagoras theorem, you can make this equation number 1. Then further we can say that this AL is nothing but AC by 2 because L is midpoint over here. So this becomes AC by 2 whole square plus AB square. Reason can be BL is median. Okay, now you can just open this up. So you will get BL square is equal to AC square by 4 plus AB square You take the LCM and all, so you'll get 4BL square is equal to AC square plus 4AB square, and this becomes your equation number 2. Then consider this triangle CMA. This is also a right angle triangle. So the key to solve this question is that let's spot all the right angle triangles and apply Pythagoras theorem on them. So here hypotenuse is CM. So CM square is equal to AC square plus AM square. So we can say that this AM is actually equal to what? It's AB upon 2. Why? You will tell me. Why is it AB upon 2? Because CM is your median. And here itself I told you that if it's median, then M is midpoint of AB. So these two sides are equal in length. I can say AB is twice of AM. Again, we'll open this. So we will get AC square plus AB square upon 4. So if you take the LCM, you will get ultimately on solving it like this, you'll get 4CM square is equal to AB square plus 4AC square, and you can make this as equation number 3, and then you add equations 2 and 3. So you will get what? 4BL square plus 4CM square, and that is equal to AC square plus 4AC square plus 4AB square plus AB square. I'm not doing anything, just adding the terms. Now here you can take this 4 common. So you will get 4BL square plus CM square is equal to, here AC square plus 4AC square is what? This is 5AC square. 4AB square plus AB square is what? 5AB square. And what is AC square plus AB square from equation 1? So using equation 1, this is nothing but 5 times BC square. So we can say that 4BL square plus CM square is equal to 5BC square, and we have proven this, hence proved. Then we have the last example for the day, example 14. So we have a rectangle over here, A, B, C, D. O is any point inside this rectangle. You have to prove that OB square plus OD square is equal to OA square plus OB square. So first of all, you have to draw PQ. Okay, you can connect it by dotted lines. Draw PQ through the point O, and it should be in such a manner that this means such that PQ is parallel to BC. Okay, draw it in such a way that PQ is parallel to BC. Okay, so here we can see that if it is a rectangle and PQ is parallel to BC, then in a rectangle all these angles are 90 degrees. I hope you know that. So if PQ is parallel to BC, then making use of corresponding angles, if angle B is 90, then this angle will also be 90 degrees. Okay, so if PQ is parallel to BC, we can say that this PQ in a way is perpendicular to the side AB or perpendicular to the side CD, right? So PQ is perpendicular to side DC. So it's all because angle B and angle C is equal to 90 degrees, because it's a rectangle, and then you make use of corresponding angles. Okay, parallel lines are there. Then we can say that angle BPQ, which is this particular angle, this is equal to 90 degrees, and angle CPQ is equal to 90 degrees. So let me just cancel this. So we can say that angle CQP is equal to 90 degrees. Okay, so these two angles would also be 90 degrees. This is because we are making use of the property of supplementary angles. Okay, enclosed by two parallel lines, they have to be having the sum 180 degrees. So that is why you can write over here supplementary angles. Okay, so we see that these two are also rectangles now. Okay, that means APQD and your BPQC, they are what? They are also your rectangles. So we are basically having 3 rectangles now, ABCD, APQD and BPQC. Then we have this triangle over here. If you can see, triangle OPB. So in triangle OPB, we know that this is a 90 degree angle. We can apply Pythagoras theorem. OB is the hypotenuse. So we can say OB square is equal to BP square plus OP square, and you can make this equation number 1. Then you can have over here in triangle OQD. Here this particular angle is 90 and the hypotenuse would be OD. So OD square is equal to OQ square plus DQ square. This is equation number 2. Then you consider triangle OQC. in triangle OQC, again this is 90 degrees, so OC is the hypotenuse. We can say OC square is equal to OQ square plus your CQ square. Make this equation number 3. Then consider triangle OAP. So in triangle OAP, here this is 90 degree angle, so this is OA square, that is OA is the hypotenuse, so OA square is equal to AP square plus OP square. Make this equation number 4. So now we are going to add equations 1 and 2. So we are going to get OB square plus OD square. We've added the left hand side terms, now the right hand side terms are there. So that will be equal to BP square plus your OP square plus OQ square plus DQ square. This is O, okay? Yeah. So then you know that this BP square is, so now this BP is equal to CQ because they are the opposite sides of your rectangle. So instead of BP square, I can write over here CQ square plus I can take OP square as it is, then OQ square also as it is, then you have DQ. Now DQ can be written as AP, again opposite sides of a rectangle. You can state these reasons also. I don't have that much space over here, writing space, but you can write somewhere that opposite sides of rectangle, that's fine. Okay, so then just look over here, CQ square plus OQ square, this term and this term is equal to OC square. So make use of equation number 3, write this OC square. Then OP square plus AP square is equation number 4, which is OA square. So basically we've proven that OB square plus OD square is equal to OC square plus OA square. This is exactly what we had to prove. Then time for a quick revision. Let me see how much you've assimilated from this lecture. So tell me, what is a triangle? What do you understand by a triangle? So it is a polygon. How many sides does it have? 3 sides. How many vertices does it have? 3 vertices. And how many angles? There are 3 angles. Then how do you differentiate between congruent and similar figures? Congruent versus similar figures. Let's have a battle between them. So here, what can you say about the shape? The shape is same for both. Okay, but what about the size? It's same for congruent, but follow certain rules for similar figures. Here it could be same, it could not be same. So how do you make out if 2 figures are similar? How many things that are there? We need to look for the angles and for the sides. What about the angles? The corresponding angles, they should be equal, and the sides, their ratios should be equal. What do we call these ratios? Representative fractions. Good. Then what is the symbol for congruency and what is the symbol for similarity? So this is for congruency and this is for similarity. So if I give you 2 triangles ABC and DEF similar, you can say that AB upon DE is equal to BC upon EF is equal to AC upon DF, and you can also say that angle A and angle D are equal, angle B is equal to angle E and angle C is equal to angle F. Okay, but that makes our work tedious, so I introduced to you some similarity criterions. What were they? Angle, angle or AAA. Why are we calling this AA also? Because sum of angles of triangle is 180 degrees. Instead of looking for 3 angles, even 2 angles would suffice. Then we had 3 sides, side, 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 and then we had side, angle, side. So if you prove any of these, it means automatically that the 3 sides are in proportion with one another, and the 3 corresponding angles are also equal, which makes our triangles similar. After this, we discussed the basic proportionality theorem as well. So if I give you triangle ABC and this DE is parallel to BC, what can I say about the ratios? That AD upon DB is equal to AE upon EC. And is the converse of basic proportionality theorem true? Yes, pretty much, because if I say that this ratio is there, equal. So you can say in this case also that DE is parallel to BC using theorem 6.2, which is the converse of basic proportionality theorem. Then we had areas of similar triangles. So let's say triangle ABC and DEF are similar. What can I say about the ratio of the areas? So area triangle ABC upon area of triangle DEF. It will be the ratio of the corresponding sides raised to the power 2, which means it will be AB upon DE whole square, which will further be equal to BC upon EF whole square, which will further be equal to AC upon DF whole square. Right? Then we had the Pythagoras theorem. What does it say? That if I give you this hypotenuse, this perpendicular, then this is base, then hypotenuse square is perpendicular square plus base square. Then we made use of certain theorems, like if I give you a right angle triangle, and from this vertex, if I drop a hypotenuse, if I drop a perpendicular to the hypotenuse, then what can we say about these three triangles? All of them would be similar. We made use of this and the concept of similarity to prove the Pythagoras theorem. Then apart from this, we discussed the converse of Pythagoras theorem, which said that if I already give you x square is equal to p square plus b square, then it automatically means that the angle opposite to the hypotenuse has to be equal to 90 degrees. Thank you for making it to the end of this lecture.